Redemption, we've got Aslan trying to literally redeem himself, pun intended, everything you want to say about him, but he's on the come up again, trying to make a name for himself. Aslan, anytime I hear that name, my ears perk up, a little bit, and I get interested to see how his team plays, to see whether or not Aslan is going to make it back into the top tier level that I think he, was so close to breaching before on Method, I believe it was, and now coming out here making a statement against Top Blokes. It's going to be difficult. I think Gibbs had the best point, was just, Top Blokes do so well against the lower level teams, but then against the upper ones, they fail. But I guess it's the opposite, because Mike Boy's going to start out strong.
I don't even know why this one goes in. Let's see, Flame. Flame went up the back wall, killed his momentum. He didn't have enough lateral momentum to carry him to actually, get to that touch, because that carry was very good from Mike Boy.
Yeah.
And that one just kind of fell in. But for Redemption, I mean, if you're looking at them and like, okay, how can they beat Top Blokes besides something that I don't think you'll see happen again there? Archie, ooh, he had a chance to put that one in, just launched it a little high. But most of the time, this Redemption offense runs through Cash. And he always seems to find good quality shots on net when he's asked to. So while all the eyes might be on Aslan, I do think that, Cash has been, finding his stride more and more. But for Top Blokes, obviously, you look at Archie. Archie, the flashiest player, and probably the highest impact player for them in that department. And you're kind of looking at Archie versus Cash, maybe, for this match in that department. But we'll see how it plays out overall. No one's really able to grab possession fully off that last goal.
It'll be a difficult thing as well for Redemption, like we talked about earlier, to break down the defense in the same way they just did to get the first goal. That's something that almost, I feel like, never happens against Top Blokes, is a simple little defensive error, because normally we have people like Cassio getting the save where he's in net off of a difficult shot. You might give up some space, but the defense will always hold on if you're Top Blokes. It takes a very mechanical shot usually to break down this defensive play style. So for Redemption, the question isn't really forcing out a mistake. It's rather, okay, we're given a little bit more space. What are we going to do with it?
You talk about Cassio. I've always felt like Cassio's been one of the best passers in Europe, and it's helped get Top Blokes to where they are. Instead, he passes it to Archie, and those are always tense to look at. Flame grabs the ball again, but it's taken away. Aslan having trouble getting back to this ball. Cassio just takes it away from him. That was well done by Cassio to keep that ball away and block the angle out.
A couple of first game jitters maybe from the defense, and now from both teams, awkward bumps all around. Seems like the positioning from everybody's trying to get a little bit more confident. We're seeing some double commits too from Top Blokes. That was the second one, I believe, in a row from one earlier on defense. So things a bit shaky, still trailing by 1 goal. I mean, this is half the game down. Redemption are still happy with getting that one freebie.
Cassio last in net. Got that next rebound. Top Blokes have gotten tied up together a couple of times on that last push. They do get back downfield, and they do pick up a goal. Flame will tie up the game.
And I love the delivery of that, because it was just so casual, because this is really some of that we just expected. Bounced off the corner, nothing too crazy. The rotation a bit slower from Redemption to get into net. Also, the player behind him coming into the far post was a bit slow as well. And Top Blokes, again, a classic capitalization goal, and they make it look clean.
Aslan lets that one go for Cash, who let it rip. Easily handled. But Redemption, this is looking like it's going to be a tight match just with how the progression has gone. Here's Aslan, couldn't get it below the crossbar. And Cash just trying to prevent Archie from getting to the ball, harassing him at every step. But Archie still got there. Cassio up quickly and takes the ball away from Aslan. Couldn't find an angle through, but he stole the ball away again. And that's going to buy time for Top Blokes to get back. Easily handled from Archie twice. Archie seems to be feeling it in this first game, but they haven't really found a lot of space to work with. Aslan, the ball taken away again from Archie on the blindside challenge. Cash coming down quickly, but couldn't get the ball away from Flame. So Top Blokes, when they have been pushed against the back wall, it's been pretty solid. Archie pops that up. That's dangerous, but everybody stopped on Redemption. Mike Boy just wanted to steal that ball away. You saw everyone just hit the brakes at the same time, Turtle.
Oh my, that was another weird situation. The first goal from Redemption just slipped in where the defense didn't know what to do. Now the bump from Cassio sets up the shot a little bit better. I'm not even sure what's going on the defensive side from Top Blokes. Cassio just completely whiffed, then gets a bump, but it actually works out for Cash because he has more time to go for the ball.
And Archie only had 14 boosts, made the most of it. The ball was made a lit when it was launched towards it. So good luck trying to save a ball shot that hard. And Redemption have a late lead.
And even before that, it's almost like Top Blokes didn't know who's going to go for it. Maybe the communication is breaking down a bit with the comms, trying to see, you know, which player is actually pushing up forward, because a lot of times we'll see nobody decide to go for it. They're a bit slow to jump for this one, as the pre-jump from Flame wasn't slow. Got in front of that ball. Still trailing by 1 goal, though. 30 seconds left. Let's see what they have.
Redemption. Mike Boy attempted carry, knocked out by Casio, finds the pass. Archie pass to Flame. That was a beautiful play from Top Blokes. Top passing to tie the game.
Oh, and I got to go to his perspective. Look at this. It is so nice. You think he's going to go for that shot. He has so much of the net to shoot at, but instead, the nice little tee up for his boy Flame to come in. They tie it up, Jorby. That is the best way you want to do it. Not off of a mistake, but instead your own play. That was a great one from Top Blokes.
And, you know, most of Top Blokes' shots have been saved. You can understand the frustration. Maybe you have to go to one extra pass to finally break through, and Redemption were definitely hopping the routes. Here's a shot, no wide, another one, Ocelon denied by Casio, and Cash turns it around quickly. He's got enough boost to get back to it, but not before Archie denies him. Time ends, and we're in overtime.
I'll see how this starts off. We've seen a couple of rough overtimes on the past few series. A lot of it has to do with who's cheating. This one actually going to get pinched to the wall, and I've been paying more attention now to the cheats of a lot of these pro players, where they're going to go up and follow that kickoff with. And this time does get a little bit flat here on the possession. Top Blokes looking strong out the gates of the overtime, but I want to see more passing plays. You mentioned it yourself, Jorby. That last little string of passing could be the difference maker to get them this overtime win.
The Top Blokes will pick up the demo on the third man. That'll give them a little bit of relieved pressure. Flame just blows through a defender on his way back to the ball, but they weren't able to break out towards midfield. Casio uses the rest in his tank to buy a little bit of time, but Top Blokes still having to defend off the backboard. They do on that touch, but they might have to do it again. Flame keeping it away. Archie sends it back downfield, and Redemption still retain possession. Here's Mike Boy on the catch, up high, on the carry, but it's taken away by Flame. Nothing really developing for them off of it. Cash, though, got it out to Mike Boy, slowing it down against Casio. Ocelon wanted to come forward so many times, but just kept having to turn around because it felt like the play was just about to develop, but Redemption can't find that next touch through. Here's Cash underneath, can't get behind the ball.
Oh my goodness, and the play style of both teams now has been a bit more grounded. It seems like they're trying to dribble it just like this. Casio bringing it down on the clear. You'll see it happen on the other side now. A couple of attempts off the backboard for Redemption. Both teams itching for that extra opportunity. They're getting so close, but these dribbles, they're not working. You need to go a bit higher with your positioning and try and bang this one off the ceiling, or put the other team in a difficult situation that they can't see coming.
Now, they've had to defend a lot of balls off the back wall, and Mike Boy catches another one. He loves going to this pop-up air dribble, flip, reset, can't get it. Archie picked up the save. Cash throws another one too late. Casio, that's not the touch you want. Here comes Ocelon underneath. It's off the backboard, already up his Cash. Off the backboard again, but nobody can commit just yet. It goes right back to Ocelon. No one is ready for Redemption. They have to wait for Archie's touch. Mike Boy will be next up. Can he get back to this before Flame or Casio? They got tied up. Here's Cash. It's going to be off the post. No! How have Redemption not picked up the goal? Archie gets Top Blokes out.
Not picked up the goal, but how have they not picked up the pace either? They have had all the boost game, and Top Blokes have been running around with maybe 1 or 2 pads. They're so slow in the net, the rotations. If you speed them up a little bit, you should be capitalizing and getting stronger shots, but instead, they're just keeping the pace the same as Top Blokes, deciding not to use that boost and be a little bit more efficient, but they're not taking the risk to get that extra opportunity.
They're missing the hard clears. Redemption have done a good job of making the plays awkward for Top Blokes, finding gaps on the back wall where earlier Top Blokes were able to cover those up pretty well. And now Redemption struggling to get back into the blue half. Archie will keep the ball back over in the right corner here for Flame. Dump back to Casio. The Top Blokes passing coming through. It comes clean off the crossbar, and it bounces down. The shot can never come for Flame. Redemption hanging on, but that's a bounce. Awkward for Redemption. Now they all have to scramble. Archie knew it. I don't think he got the touch he wanted there. It bounced right off of him. Still retained, though, for Flame. Carrying the ball. Nothing just yet and Redemption keep out. That was a good touch from Aslan, and we're in a battle turtle in this overtime.
Yeah, we've got the ingredients right now for a very long overtime. I would love to see how long this one can actually get, because both teams so passive, trying to keep it low, go for some dribbles, make sure you get that extra touch. But this one's wide open. Does Flame get the save in time? He does it off the crossbar. Cash sinks this one in and ends the overtime.
Finally got him. It's such an aggressive challenge from Cassio. He thought he had him beat, and he missed him by a pixel.
Wow.
That was so close from Cassio, and Top Blokes did not want to have to play more defense. You can understand the decision to take the risk there. Flame still rotating back. Cassio wasn't really in a position to turn around, and Cash just beat him to the ball. That's really all it came down to in the end, Turtle. But Redemption taking game one.
I'm a little bit sad though, because that really had the makings of a fantastic overtime. That would.
I mean, that was like a 4-minute overtime. That's a pretty long overtime, man.
I'm talking 10 minutes.
Do you want like a 20? You want 10 minutes, man? How long do you want to be here?
Okay, how many times do we get the chance though, Jordan, where both teams are dribbling the ball constantly, being a little bit more passive? Okay, we could have seen a 15-minute overtime right there, but of course, Redemption come out, and that final shot from Cash was actually very impressive to get over the ball and hit it with that pace. That's what we were missing earlier on, was just the strength when you're hitting the ball.
And, you know, I did say that this offense typically runs through Cash. He did get 2 goals in that game, but Mike Boy to me is what kept Redemption on offense for so long. He, you know, picked his battles. You know, he would leave when he knew he didn't have a chance to play it out. But when, like, Redemption just had the Top Blokes flow on read. And Mike Boy was always shifting to wherever the flow of the play was going. And the ball just ended up on his nose every single time. Yeah. Other times he'd pull off. He let Aslan come in and do the work there. But Mike Boy always loves to keep control. He loves to pop it up, get that air dribble 50 to create opportunities for his team. I think that was a big proponent of Redemption's offense.
Well, and it also feels like that's what's helping them keep the momentum of that ball in the other side. You know, a lot of times whenever he slows that play down, he just lets his other teammates, get some boost, relax a bit, and he'll be able to stall out, beat one player, and also get a pass off. So you're exactly right, Jorby. That Mike Boy presence, crucial right now to get a comeback, or not a comeback necessarily, but the upset, against Top Blokes.
Now Top Blokes, you got to clean things up on defense. You got to find clears in quicker succession, and you can't let this backboard become leaky. They got to patch these holes these rebounds that have come a little too cleanly for Redemption, or a little too cleanly for my taste if you're looking at Top Blokes to figure things out on defense. A couple of explosions, and Flame can only dump the ball away, but they're already finding trouble getting the clear out. But Cassio launches it downfield, and this could be the start for Top Blokes.
Oh no, and Archie, the pressure is not going to be here. There's going to be a lot of space here given to Flame, as he actually has a solid job holding the midfield. But earlier on, you could see Archie deciding to rotate back, and that's the passive rotations I was talking about for Top Blokes, where they'd rather go back for the corner boost instead of maintain forward with a couple of pennies. And that can sometimes be a curse and a blessing. So we'll see how that plays out for him.
So far, no one really able to find the angle over the other, and that was personified in the amount of demos that are coming out early on. Cassio can't get beyond midfield. Aslan falling back onto it. Passing play attempted from Top Blokes, but those long field passes haven't really worked. Redemption have hopped on those routes pretty consistently and effectively, but when Top Blokes do end up trapping the ball on offense, that's where their passing actually gets really dangerous. You know, Cassio with the attempts in front of the top, and then Archie launching that one straight into the center of the net. Top Blokes find the lead.
I wanted to see a demo play because Flame just took that corner boost, then tried to hunt down Aslan, but instead turned off of it. And it doesn't even matter because the speed at which Archie hit that ball was massive. That is an incredible play from Archie, just to bang it into the top of the post. And that reminds me of the overtime goal that they actually got previously for Redemption. A little bit of a revenge now for Top Blokes.
That was beautiful, but Mike Boy picks up the save. And Cassio able to pop that ball out, but that's going to be a Mike Boy Cash passing play. He wanted Mike Boy, who just couldn't, you know, get enough speed going the other way. Cassio almost picked up the goal, but Cash will pick it up again. But Top Blokes, they're really starting to grab momentum. Every consecutive touch they get, Cash is diving towards the ball. He has to handle it past Archie, but that just buys time for Cassio to get a read on the play. And Top Blokes, they're staunchly in the driver's seat right now. Good passing, Archie, another dump in front. It was handled by Mike Boy, but you need more than just that one passing play. They need more of a presence in midfield. And maybe taking out the midfielders will do it.
Oh my.
But Cash takes out 2 players, but Mike Boy's still going to have to handle the ball in his own corner.
And even when you get 2 demos and you can't transition this ball out, that's how you know the other team has some solid offense and also beautifully timed rotation. That's Top Blokes. That's the signature of Top Blokes, really. And we're seeing them right now keep this ball in possession. And what I like to see is more of a planned out execution. I feel like Top Blokes know a lot more of where they're trying to pass this ball, how they're trying to move it forward, instead of the first game where they were just going for a clear and just saying, you know what, they'll probably make a mistake eventually. Let's just wait it out.
Redemption, while they were able to get to the blue half, weren't able to really net a lot of pressure. And in fact, Top Blokes just come right back and put some threatening opportunities up in front of the box. They are really dangerous on the opponent's back wall. Castillo grabs that next shot, but another one might come. Aslan overshot the ball, and Flame will get a clear out. Castillo on the wing, Flame to Castillo, and that's a Top Blokes 2-goal lead.
The idea to go for a pass here is what really caught me off guard. I saw this bounce off the corner. There was an open spot in the net, and I think even the goalkeeper, Cash himself, didn't expect the pass to come out because it was difficult to read that, but kudos to Flame. That's 2 moments now where he has been trying to give the extra effort to make a play. Before it was going for the demo, and now it's getting that crazy pass in the corner. So I'm very impressed so far with Flame.
Flame has had his ups and downs in the RLCS. And even in the last game, or you saw it in this game actually earlier, had trouble grabbing one read off the backboard. But once he gets onto offense, you know, Flame can be such a nuisance and such a force for his team. And he's been a lot cleaner on defense besides that one wave. I don't want to harp on that too much. Mike Boy's shot taken away by Castillo here. But this has been such a cleaner game on defense. And that's exactly what I wanted to see from Top Blokes. You know, fix the backboard reads, grab those rebounds, and Redemption are going to find it a lot more difficult to get shots on net. And it's a 3-goal lead, a forced own goal from Castillo. The attempted dive. Bam.
Oh, yeah. You talked about grabbing the rebounds, but also now grabbing the interceptions off of those passing plays. Really good positioning from Castillo to get in that passing lane. Lovely job. And now 3 goals. You've got confidence going to the next game. You just think to yourself, that first game warmed up. Now Top Blokes are ready and pretty much prepared now to take on whatever Redemption had to throw at them.
Redemption really struggling overall on offense. They have 5 shots on net, but there's 9 for Top Blokes. There's another one, but that's what a lot of Redemption shots have looked like. One chance, kind of quarter chance opportunities that Top Blokes were always ready for. And then they've been scoring a lot of these. Redemption feeling the pain right now, just caught a little too far upfield.
Yeah, and it's more planned out. It seems like when they do move forward, like I said, that they have an option in the midfield. Before, I thought that both players were rotating out at the same time, and therefore we just leave one Top Blokes player forward. It's the opposite, where, you know, we're seeing a lot of spaced out players and also throwing 2 players forward while 1 player's back, which is the typical rotation we expect to see. And Redemption, how are they going to bounce back? What left in store they have to fight up against Top Blokes? Because it's going to be difficult now that they're gaining momentum.
Castillo picking up that MVP for Top Blokes, and this is the form that we're used to seeing this team in when they are playing teams like Redemption. But I do feel like these are fixable mistakes for Redemption. Really, Top Blokes are. It's the quality of looks that Top Blokes get, but also the variety of looks. You talk about Flame against Cash earlier, Turtle, in that corner where Cash is initially expecting Flame to push that along the back wall, but really the whole time he's looking at Castillo a little farther out in front of the box, and that caught Cash out. That happened to Redemption multiple times on different areas of the field where they couldn't hang on to possession that way.
Yeah, and that little pass in the corner from Flame, I'm still amazed at. I think the mechanical passing ability now from everyone on Top Blokes has extended to a different level that we didn't expect. And also, you know, I think it's still a relevant point, was the first one you made in game 1, where, you know, sometimes that extra little pass and rotation is what you need to beat out a defense who's predicting you're going to go for the shot constantly, and they're getting in front of those shots. So if you go for that little extra pass, that little touch in the midfield, which is what Top Blokes are doing, it is paving the way now to success.
So Redemption, how do they respond after getting shut out in game 2? Well, they win the kickoff and can't find a shot. Cash takes the next play away. And Archie gets in front of that, winning more and more of those challenges in those tight passing windows. Flame winning 2 challenges in front. The rest of Top Blokes having to come up a little late. Everyone a little passive on that last play. Cassio pass to Archie, back to Cassio. And you love to see that Top Blokes offense. They never really go away from that passing game. If they have the option, they usually take it. Ooh, Cash faking his way by Cassio, and he has a lead on the ball, but Flame takes the ball away from him again. And Redemption, they're starting to adjust to that. They aren't winning as many of these 50s, so you're seeing them, that third man relax a lot more than they were earlier. Flame missing that touch, and Ocelon, Mike Boy, both on that assignment. Mike Boy got a clear out and got a 50 win, but now they bump into each other, Ocelon and Cash.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about a bit, is the positioning now of the defensive rotations for Redemption. I think that is where things start to get a bit, I guess, concerning, because against Top Blokes, every mistake you make, there's somebody going to be there now. I mean, in game 1, it wasn't really that case, but for Redemption now that they've given Top Blokes a chance to warm up, it is very difficult to make a mistake without somebody being right in your face to punish you and put a shot in.
Archie flips this over, and Cash and Ocelon panic. They missed the ball. Archie almost punished, but Mike Boy got there in time. Flame diving up, but Mike Boy keeping the ball away. Can Redemption actually get back onto offense? But they keep having to scramble in a jagged retreat. Archie just trying to make things a little more interesting. They finally get a touchdown field, but where's the consecutive touch? They can't get the 50th win, Turtle. And Redemption are just in damage control mode constantly. Ocelon grabs another rebound, but Flame is here quickly. 1 touch and misses it. Archie gets it, and Cash will lightly catch the ball and caress it out.
So now I'm a bit concerned, because at first we were waiting for Redemption and them to keep possession with their little touches and keeping it close to them. Now, as Top Blokes get more opportunities, they're not hitting their shots. I'm a bit worried that maybe Redemption have a chance to bury themselves out of this defensive hole and start to get a couple of good looks on net. Top Blokes, solid rotations in Redemption. They're just out of boost constantly. Even earlier, I saw Mike Boy. He just gave away all of his control of the ball, panicking. You know, it's that lack of boost that infiltrates that panic element that you start freaking out about. You know, how am I going to control this ball if I don't have any boost? Where am I going to go? And you can see Redemption, they're hunting right now for any boost they can get.
Mike Boy finally got one in the attacking corner, but they were sitting on 25 or lower, all 3 players. They're pretty much managing that for a little while, but they finally got back on the offense. A couple of nice challenges and a little bit more pitch control go a long way for them to grab control at midfield again. And for all the pressure the Top Blokes were able to put on, they came away empty. And that'll be big. One transition can be the only difference. Cassio keeps it away. Wow. Mike Boy had an angle on net, and Cassio robbed him of it.
Yeah, and he saved his team basically from an interception in the midfield. You can see it now. Oh my goodness, off the crossbar. We're still waiting for the shot. Both teams, we've seen aggression from them, and yet there's no final shot. We want to see anything that's accurate, because there are great chances now even getting built for Redemption.
Redemption, a couple of nice opportunities to rebuild the confidence, but a whiff might destroy all of it in an instant, and they are happy that no one from Top Blokes was able to make a touch. Flame diving in front, but that's going to be an Ocelon ball off the backboard. Who grabs it? Cassio.
Oh.
Cash wanted that ball desperately, but Cassio has been a defensive mastermind, and Mike Boy having to pick up another save. Can Top Blokes keep the pressure going? Archie got a demo on the backside. That gives Flame a little bit of space to commit, and Archie's up for it. But Ocelon makes the job difficult, nigh impossible, and Cash hard off the back wall. And it slows down just a little bit, but Cash just gets bumped off the play again. And Redemption, even when they're on offense, they're struggling to get those consecutive touches, and Archie just steals the ball away again for Top Blokes.
Yeah, and games like this are just so fun to watch, Jorby, because you can physically see the shift in pace that both these teams make whenever they acquire boost. Now, Archie in the corner, things so threatening on both sides. I'm a little bit worried, mostly for Redemption, seeing as we're getting more tough angles put on net from Top Blokes. It seems as though the mechanics are a little bit better. Here's Flame now from the corner, and Mike Boy, the transition out. Both of them are just firing shots left and right, Jorby.
Mike Boy is what got Redemption on this last push. The demo opens up the net, and Archie denies Redemption, but Cash wants one more chance. Ocelon dives, and we go to another overtime. Let's dance.
Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it. I'm so happy that Redemption have decided to pick things up a little bit with their counterattacks, where they're placing these balls whenever it comes towards hitting them forward and keeping possession. Now the clears are much more methodical, and they're finding teammates. They're competing with Top Blokes, and that's why we've got overtime.
Archie gets the clear out here for Top Blokes. They did not want to stay any longer in the blue half at the start of overtime. Now Mike Boy behind the ball. He's dished it out to his team time and again. Ocelon might get caught out, but makes the touch necessary to get it to the corner. Still, they're going to need a couple more on defense. Archie can't hang on to that, and now Flame trying to keep the ball locked in midfield, but here come Redemption. Cash up over one. Ocelon was trying to harass Archie on his way back to net. You saw third man Mike Boy just making sure that he wasn't too far forward. He wasn't going to get caught out. Archie's attempt on the backboard taken away by Cash, and Mike Boy again denies Top Blokes an opportunity. Casio makes a great save. Archie stops Mike Boy, and wow, a lot of high balls, a lot of takeaways on both sides. Cash flips it over one, and Casio is there again. They might have to demo Casio before Redemption can finally get a goal.
You've got to take him out. Casio doesn't miss on the defensive side. He's hitting every single save that he needs to, every single clear he's getting in front of, and also trying to find those interceptions that proved to be pivotal in the previous game. That's what got them that previous goal as well for Casio. We'll see if he can find another interception, but as long as he can keep the defense up, there's no way Top Blokes lose this one.
Now, Mike Boy's challenges have been really difficult to deal with for Top Blokes. He makes a great second effort on that last push, but Top Blokes just keep launching the ball back downfield, and Redemption are stuck on their own back wall. Mike Boy looks for a gap, but Cash is way too far off the ball to grab the follow-up. Now Ocelon, it's his turn, but Casio makes the challenge happen for Archie. Steals the boost, steals the ball. Flame plays it quick on the follow-up, makes it a little awkward for Cash, and now it's even more awkward for him as Archie grabs the ball again, but Top Blokes, just when you think it's about to develop, Ocelon grabs the ball again. Casio challenges Mike Boy against the backboard.
Archie.
Cash is still a little far back, and Archie off the corner, got two taps. Casio's there, up against Ocelon, who picks up the next save, and Flame off the corner again. Archie off the top of the crossbar, and Cash clears it out. Ocelon, quick transition, and it's saved again by Casio. Mike Boy can't keep it going, and Top Blokes somehow deny Redemption again.
Why would we ever doubt Casio? I'm telling you, when he's the third man rotating back, he's gonna get that save. Regardless of where it's shot, how fast it is, Casio, you can count on him to keep you in this overtime. Now it comes down to hitting those final shots. The accuracy for either teams hasn't been the best. Top Blokes now looking to be on top with their shots, and now Archie is saved. He gets it above, not the 50, but it was so close. The overtime ends. I am freaking out, Joby. This was so fun to watch.
Oh, Archie stuffed that ball, and the difference was that he used all of his boost so that when he goes to flip into that ball on the challenge, his timing has to be perfect, and he was too far onto the right. Ocelon just made his Fennec as long as possible. He had enough boost to force it through Archie after that. After an incredible initial stop, it was the depletion of his boost that ends up ruining his second attempted save. And what an overtime Redemption put Top Blokes on match point. Man, Europe is fun.
I thought we were going to get a save again out of Archie. You were talking about that 50. I could have sworn after he landed on the ball, I was like, okay, he's got enough coverage now to get the final save. And then even looking at these replays, look at Casio on the defensive side. Does he ever miss a save? Does he ever miss a hit? It doesn't seem so. Archie didn't miss that fall down save, almost got the 50. Redemption and Top Blokes, this is the series so far, at least in my opinion, of the day, Jorby. This is great.
And our last match of the day, definitely delivering for sure. Game number 4 about to get underway. Can Redemption pull off the victory here against Top Blokes? They've long been the gatekeepers to the top-end teams. Sometimes they do end up dropping these, but Redemption have, put on a game of their own. This has definitely been theirs. I feel like it almost feels like a how do I want to say it? A higher version of Denied, I guess. Like Denied, full team effort, everybody really contributing in all aspects of the game, and that's really what's happening for Redemption. They have to play so much defense against Top Blokes, and to get another one here, no, Casio will sneak this through, and we start off with a Top Blokes lead.
Yeah, and when you're playing so much defense, you get a little bit tired a lot of times of figuring out how to clear against somebody who's suffocating you. In this instance, you want to go to the corner, try to get this one out, maybe just dish it off to your teammate, excuse me. But Top Blokes, they crash in from the walls. They get a solid touch out into the midfield. The pass is connecting. They go up 1-0. Could we see a repeat of the last game, though? Top Blokes started out strong. We thought they had all the pressure, which they did. But then Redemption slowly crept back in, and in overtime, we're able to punish.
Archie working his way around, and Castillo always there on the backside to clean it up. Top Blokes, when they have that much space in the third, it can be so easy to force the play into a certain quadrant that you're looking for. And they've done that a lot of times to keep the pressure up against Redemption. But they're back on offense now. Aslan shovels a pass out to Mike Boy, and a massive win for Castillo on the challenge. Isn't in the best spot for Top Blokes to deal with it, but this is all to build a little bit more. Oh, massive fake from Archie, and he almost picked up a goal on top of it.
Love what I'm seeing from Archie. Almost saw a backflip musty flick earlier as well that we did see from Alpha. So we're seeing some crazy mechanics so far today. I've been happy with the performance of everybody. And of course, the last series is definitely living up to the hype that we expected. Now Flame coming in from the defensive side. We'll see what he has to offer. Can't get the transition game, but Cash is there to stuff him out. And that's something we also have to compliment too, is the 50s from Redemption. I think whenever they're going up against Top Blokes, who is a very challenge-oriented team, they do pretty well, and they definitely hold their own.
Oh, nice couple of flicks here from Cash, but nothing really to scream about. Flame got back down towards midfield. But Redemption have gotten control of the ball. Mike Boy, pot shot taken away by Archie. A nice catch here from Castillo, making Aslan wait a little bit, and Flame was able to win the larger share of that 50. Top Blokes finally getting a bigger clear that they were hoping for, and that's right back to Archie. He found a sneaky net and a sneaky goal. Archie finally collects, and it's 2-0 Top Blokes.
Oh, this man is just playing mind games constantly. He gets this first hit, it's a miss, and instead goes for a little bit of a slower hit here to get it right around the defender. It was a little bit scary, but still found the angle earlier on. We remember him getting that fake. Now coming out here with a little bit of a soft hit. Things working out for Archie, who a lot of times doesn't necessarily show up to our expectations when we put all the pressure on him. We definitely expect him to be the mechanical guy, but sometimes he won't come out as the star, and that's often against the top tier teams. But here, he's really starting to prove himself, and I've only seen better things from him.
Castillo worked his way around the corner, and once that, or maybe was thinking about a bump onto Aslan, but he immediately switched back on his cam and moved away. Here up high again. Oh, a nice touch out to Aslan, and that's in. That was a long pass in front, and Aslan sneaks it into the top.
Oh, and it was the double commit from Castillo and Archie. And then you can see I was Flame in the corner, didn't know where to rotate. He turned outwards instead of going back towards the net. That's what really prevented them from having a safety net. And Top Blokes, it's a frustrating mistake. I remember in the first game, there's been a couple actually throughout this whole series where we're wondering what has happened. Where's the defense been? What happened to the rotation? And now this one flicked off from Aslan. Redemption, it's the same thing that happened last game where they're picking the pace up.
Top Blokes even keeping the ball out past their own third. Now Mike Boy's got a little bit of space. He's got Cash who already jumped. The Castillo hopped that route immediately. Aslan works his way by. He's been looking deadlier and deadlier, especially on this right side, which Redemption seemed to be favoring, or that's just how the flow of the play has gone pretty consistently. And Mike Boy back in front. Oh, midair demo, and Mike Boy, splash play for Redemption. We tie it up.
Are you kidding me? Look at this demo. Cash snipes him out of the air to allow for Mike Boy to get the ground pinch. That is a brilliant team play, and one that is nearly impossible to execute because you've got two contradicting elements. You've got that pinch and then also the demo. That is going to be so difficult to execute, and yet they make it look easy, Jorby. What a play.
If Rocket League gives you no options, create your own. Aslan doing that for Mike Boy. And now Top Blokes need a third goal to get this lead back. Archie, too light. Aslan can handle it, but Archie grabs it again. Castillo will wait patiently for Aslan's next touch. He's going to retreat now. No real angle to take. Flame killing it in front. That was potentially dangerous, but Archie was right on top of it. Flips by Aslan. Has to win this against Cash. Can he? No. Cash got that ball away from him, so Redemption stop what could have been a deadly push. Casio takes that ball away. Flame wasn't ready for it, had to make up lost time, and Mike Boy launches it downfield. We could have yet another overtime if these last 30 seconds go the way it has. Ocelon trying to prevent Flame back in, and he hops over 2. You know, if it was Mike Boy last game, it's Ocelon in this game who has just popped off. Here's another shot to commit, and it's a hard pinch from Archie and Flame. Does it get them set up for something quick in the final 15? Archie back over to Casio, plays it low, and it's saved by Ocelon. Back around the corner again with time running out. Flame wants to play it out to the right corner. Casio's going to wait for Ocelon yet again. Plays it slow here. Archie wants to go quickly, but Cash took the ball away. A high ball in front. Mike Boy wants to play. Flame takes it away. Casio lets it drop, and we got overtime.
You can't count Redemption out. This is an unreal comeback from not only the previous game, but also this one to make a clutch play. Now this one out of the midfield, I'm getting scared so far. These clears, a little bit worrisome on the side of Redemption, but they are keeping up with the pace. Now the clear's even more massive. You can expect something crazy to come out of them.
Ooh, Ocelon. Happy that Cash was a little farther back on that last play. In Redemption, this is where you start getting a little antsy, and jumping up was Cash to make the next save. You got to be careful once they do get the transition push that they don't overcommit on the play, because Top Blokes have been able to challenge them in midfield pretty consistently. But look downfield here. Oh, Mike Boy wanted the demo onto Casio, but he's not going to bite. And now it all stops again here in the corner. Turtle Flame, does he got the Archie? And it's denied again by Ocelon. Redemption hanging on defense. They'd love to end this in 4 against Top Blokes.
Oh, and it's still the booming clears out of Redemption. Whenever they are stuck on defense, they'll get one massive clear, and that's their time to strike the counterattack. But this one dropped down from Flame to Archie. It's saved by Ocelon. How did he get a touch on that? I didn't even think you could predict where that one was going to get put up, and we're still in overtime.
Ocelon, that's a good bounce for him. He's going to play it off the ceiling. He's got a little bit of boost to work with, but that ball's only going to be down to Flame. You see Redemption, they will not overcommit. They don't see the structure to be able to do it. They respect Top Blokes' ability to boom that ball downfield. They've gotten killed on the transition a couple of times. They don't want that to happen again. Otherwise, Game 5 could be quite the effort to take a win. Here comes Archie down the field, and Mike Boy will play it back out to the corner. Flame again slows it down, but Mike Boy wins another good 50. But can they get by midfield? This is becoming a pain point in this next minute. Ocelon coming up big for his team multiple times. Does he do it again? Back out to Mike Boy, denied by Casio, and now a breakaway opportunity. Playing it back to the corner, flips it over 1. Flame is there, but way too behind to do anything about it. Archie on his way out of the stadium will at least get Flame back in front of the ball.
We're just exchanging punches at this point. Both teams can't maintain too much pressure, too much possession. And it's fun to watch, because I feel like at what point are we just going to see some horrible 50 gone wrong? We've seen great shots on net, really beautiful passes, and they're all getting saved. That one could have been stellar from Ocelon. Still waiting for the final shot, Jordan.
It was a laser. I would have been like, that was such a fast shot to try to hit.
That's what I expect to end it. That's what we need. Something crazy like that. With how close all of these shots and passes have been, but not go in all the way, we're gonna need something like that. And here it is. Archie gets it. We've got Game 5.
Game 5 coming up. Casio takes a nice shot in Cash. He just ended up flipping it up, and it hit the crossbar. He really wanted to pop that up and try to get it out of the net up against the backboard, but the shot power made it impossible. He couldn't get there, or couldn't get in front of it far enough. And here we go, Turtle. Game number 5. Could it have ended any other way for these two teams?
You know, whether or not it was a 500 miles per hour pinch or a double commit like that, and then I'm still happy. I'm still happy that we get Game 5, because that's something to be grateful for, okay?
What would 500 miles per hour look like in game? I would love to even see the ball. It's just like, like
that's what it felt like with that one pinch out from the midfield. I would have guessed that one was up there, because if I think it was Austin trying to get on the receiving end of it, if he had found that in the reaction time to get it, would have been crazy. But just taking a look and reflecting at the shots, there's so many great plays. That's why watching this series, it's like you expect these crazy passes, these unreal shots that go into the top corner to go in and be the game deciders, but instead it's little simple mistakes on both sides, and the defense lacking a little bit in rotation to go in.
And Archie, there were 14 shots for Top Blokes. Archie got 10 of them. And I did feel like Archie was taking every single shot for top Blokes, whether it was from midfield, the third, the corner. It didn't really matter. And I mean, that's how this offense has always run. It is run through Archie. So yeah, feed the machine, if you will. And they're going to need the machine on Champions Field. Game number 5. To end the day, can top Blokes take down Redemption, who have put on quite a show? Cassio will grab the ball off the cheetah, but he won't have any boost to get back to the ball. But it's all to set up Flame, who was looking for Archie. That actually comes clean for Cassio. And here we go, starting off. Cash back on the transition, uses everything in his tank to get back to that ball. But this is all going to be about a goal for top Blokes. It is Archie who just launched it over a defender who had no chance at it, and it's a top Blokes lead.
And the question is, where's the rotation? Mike Boy's coming back. Ocelon just needs to get a hit, and that placement off the post for Archie to follow it up. Even if it was on target initially, that would have been ideal, but still he had time to get the follow-up off the post, slot it in. That's not the way you want to start things out.
Well, I think Ocelon got smoked by Archie, because Archie blows through on the demo.
Yeah.
And then he was kind of coming up, but he couldn't see Archie immediately looking at his cam. So maybe that, I don't know. Either way, forced him to hesitate on the decision, but it's a long game. And that one coming down. Ever since that game 1, the backboard has been closed for business for Redemption whenever they've been on offense. They have not found the same success that they were able to find against them, but they're still going to continue to test it. And as you have to in these games, you got to come out with the mix-ups as often as you can, but we're in a battle for possession right now in the first minute.
Yeah, that's going to result in a lot of midfield passes. You can see Ocelon now going forward. Sometimes I will see only one player pushed up and 2 players then from Redemption playing the safe route and being a bit passive. That one, he gets bumped. That was Mike Boy who got Goomba Stomp basically from somebody on the backboard. And we still didn't see the accuracy. That's what I'm talking about. These crazy plays occur from top Blokes of Redemption where somebody should finally put a shot in and you have the best opportunity you've seen in minutes and you can't find the back of the net.
Top Blokes are finding the seams on offense for passing plays, but Redemption get down the field quickly on the transition. Cash, he hasn't had a lot of success getting up to a lot of these follow-ups. Your top Blokes have beaten him to the ball several times, but it's been tough for him when he's not been on the lead point. Whenever he's in that follow-up position, it's been a struggle to find that ball, to find the read against top Blokes. But game 5, starting to be difficult for Redemption to hang on to this ball, and Cassio winning another challenge, but it only turned into a quick transition for Ocelon, and nobody is going to find anything on either backboard right now. Both have been closed. Ocelon kicks it away, but Flame might be the first to it. Kicks it down in front of the box. Dangerous play for Archie, slowing it down, and the fake could have got him. Cassio's shot denied by Cash again, but Archie grabbed the boost and takes the ball away. Flame coming too far on the right side, and Cash will get the clear.
I'm still not sure if that fake from Archie was intended. He should have gotten just some form of a touch. There was a small space in the corner of the net to put it in and finish it. But now Flame again, does he have the backboard double tap? Instead, goes for the pass. Cassio, the accuracy still failing top Blokes. It is the plague right now on their team. Finding a shot that does hit an accurate spot and still tied up here. Or no, actually not tied up. Top Blokes leading by 1, but they don't have the security that they need so badly.
Top Blokes really wanting to open up the options on offense. You saw Cassio earlier. He's going to take a wide-angle shot that's blocked by Ocelon. But earlier, he's sneaking up on the opponent's back wall, hoping for a cheeky pass out. And he just hasn't been able to find one. Mike Boy, Ocelon, both able to get Redemption out of harm's way on that last push. Cash also starting to look a little cleaner on those follow-ups past the first minute. But as it's looked better for Redemption, they still got to get down the field. And in fact, the gates are wide open, and Flame punches another one in for top Blokes. Insurance late in game 5.
Off the backboard, Cassio gets that dunk, smacking it forward. Then the demo to just add a little cherry on top. We've got a secure lead now for top Blokes. That is Cassio coming in clutch. That dunk was massive. Mike Boy, couldn't get the read off the backboard. It was a difficult overhead shot or angle to get a touch on. And top Blokes, they've had so much pressure, and this time it's resulting in a monstrous and a threatening win.
Archie just gonna wait. Now every single touch for top Blokes is just time management, wasting more time off the clock. Don't give Redemption a chance, and Cassio doesn't want to give him any, but Aslan will keep things alive for Redemption, splitting the lead with a minute left.
Don't give him a chance, but this time he's just creating it. It doesn't matter if Top Blokes want to give him it or not. Cash just with the double tap opens everything up for Redemption. There's a chance. 107, Jorby. You got to believe that we'll get a Game 5 OT. With how Redemption have exponentially increased their performance in every single individual game, it is surely possible.
Archie back over to Cassio, and just like that, Top Blokes take it back, a 2-goal lead.
Well, now, you know, I just gave that whole speech, and of course Top Blokes going to come out with that midfield pass. That was a beautiful shot. Cassio, not only can this man save every single difficult shot that gets placed on his own net, he's also coming forward and receiving those great shots, putting them into the corners, and being that consistent rock that Top Blokes rely on.
Well, this is crunch time now. Redemption, they can't even grab onto the ball. Cassio forcing Mike Boy to dive for the next play. That's not the touch you want. Flame just gonna sit on the ground and force an awkward challenge for Aslan. He did get the first and flipped it over the second. And now Mike Boy, a crucial follow-up, goes right into Flame, and now they're forced into a quick retreat. Flame making it awkward for Cash. Archie just throws it out to the side, and every single touch for Redemption is just a boomer downfield, and then they're hoping it gets right back into them. Cash, he had Mike Boy on an option in front, but could only hit it downfield.
And that's the hardest thing to do, is to not panic when you're in the final few seconds where you have to make a comeback. You can see Redemption, all their hits, like you said, Jorby, just going to the other team. They're panicking a bit. Final 10 seconds, Top Blokes, it has been too clean from them all series long. They were a little bit difficult earlier, but Jorby, Top Blokes, how can you not credit their success?
Top Blokes take down Redemption in 5, but not for lack of trying from Redemption. That was an excellent match and a really fun one to watch. We talked about Denied last match, and teams do not want to play that team in the lower bracket. I'm feeling the same way about Redemption right now after that performance against Top Blokes. But Top Blokes really performed when it mattered. In crunch time, in high pressure, that's where they were elevated. Cassio, to me, especially, Archie might be at the top of the scoreboard, but without Cassio's defense, this Top Blokes team would have absolutely lost to Redemption. Cassio bailed their team out of so many situations, and that was phenomenal performance from Cassio and the rest of Top Blokes. Yeah,
I think what I'm excited for now is Redemption coming out here, getting some more practice and experience, and also learning how to maintain any energy or momentum that you gather on early in the series, because there were games, individual games, where they would end and I would think, okay, these guys, if they can keep this up, they will go on to absolutely stomp out Top Blokes. With the performance that we saw from them, the speed, all the mechanical plays, Redemption have all of it that it takes to be a great team. The question is, you know, can they consistently put together those pieces throughout the whole game and continue to move on throughout the rest of the series? That's the question here. I think they'll do well, though.
The end of the day gave us some quality matches, and we'll have the desk, Leaf and the guys, come back and break it all down.